My father slapped me across the face in my hospital bed, demanding $800 rent while I had 3 broken ribs and 27 stitches. 3 days later, I'd find $1.5 million worth of evidence in his safe that would send him to federal prison for 15 years. Perfect visceral opening with concrete details, and my arm leaks through the gauze. 3 days later, the hospital discharges me with a stack of papers and a plastic bag of medications that rattle like a maraca: painkillers, anti-nausea, antibiotics. I sign my name with a hand that won't stop shaking. The nurse tells me to rest. She doesn't know rest isn't allowed in my family. The automatic doors breathe me out into sunlight so bright it feels rude, and I have to squint through the swelling on my face just to find the curb. Mrs. Chen pulls up in her old Corolla because my father couldn't make it. The car smells like jasmine and soy sauce, and she keeps both hands on the wheel like she's carrying something fragile. "You stay my place," she says. "Shed, clean, door lock, safe, okay?" I tell her I'm fine, because fine is what you say when your whole life is hanging by a thread.
There's a weary, resigned tone that slowly builds to a hint of dread as the narrator approaches the house. Emphasize "pride is stupid" with a heavy sigh, and quicken the pace slightly when the key catches like it's hitting a wall. As we turn onto my street, my phone vibrates in my lap. Another email from work. "Are you back online yet?" I can't even answer it without my laptop, and I can already feel Donald smiling at that. Mrs. Chen slows at the curb. "You want me walk you?" she asks. "No," I say, too fast. Pride is stupid, but it's the last thing I have. My house, Donald's house, on paper, looks the same from the sidewalk. Same porch light, same flower bed he never watered, same front door. I dig out my key, the one I've had since high school, and slide it into the lock. It catches like it's hitting a wall. I wiggle it, then try again. Harder. Nothing. The metal won't give. The porch light buzzes, then flickers, like it's warning me. That's when I notice the lock itself. New brass, shiny, untouched by weather, like somebody installed it yesterday just to make sure I understood. My stomach flips and sour bile creeps up my throat. I knock once, polite. No answer. I knock again, louder, then end up pounding with the side of my fist until my ribs light up and my stitches pull tight. The door swings open and Tiffany is standing there wearing my robe. Not a robe, my robe.
Gray fleece, frayed sleeve, the little burn mark near the pocket from when I leaned too close to the stove. She leans on the frame like she owns it. Behind her, my room is wrong. Leopard print pillows stocked on my bed, a hot pink water bottle on my nightstand, a hair clip I've never seen sitting on my dresser like a flag. Her eyes drag down to my hospital bag. "Oh," she says, stretching it out. "You're back." "My key doesn't work," I say, and my voice comes out scraped raw. "Why is there a new lock?" She smiles like it's funny. "Donald changed it." "Why?" She gives a tiny shrug. "He said you didn't pay." I blink. I was in the hospital." "And?" Tiffany's gaze drops to the gauze on my arm like she's judging the quality of the bandage. "That's not his issue. Also, Randy's here." As if that explains everything. Donald appears behind her with something in his teeth, chewing like he's at a barbecue, not in my hallway. He looks me over slow, like I'm a broken appliance he might flip for parts. "We can get $1,200 for this room," he says, loud enough for me to hear. "Easy. Bus line's close. Tiffany's got a feel for staging." Tiffany twirls the robe tie, proud. My stuff is in there, I say. My computer, my documents, my clothes.
Randy lifts his eyebrows. Rent first. Tiffany's hand goes to the edge of the door, and I see it. She's already done talking. I shove my hand into the gap before it closes, and pain shoots up my arm so fast I almost black out. Please, I say, swallowing a sound. Just my work laptop. Tiffany smiled, turned syrup sweet. Not our problem. Then she pushes. The door slams on my fingers hard enough that my nails flash white, and I jerk back with a gasp that tastes like blood. The latch clicks. I stand on the porch, dizzy, staring at the door like it's a stranger. Inside, I hear Tiffany's laugh. Light, careless, like I'm the punchline. They didn't just lock me out, they replaced me. Mrs. Chen waits by the car with her face tightened in worry. When she sees my expression, she doesn't ask. She just opens her passenger door. I climb in, like my body forgot how to move. At her house, she leads me around back to the shed. It's cleaner than I expect. Folding chair, small table, rakes hanging neatly, bags of potting soil stacked like bricks. A bare bulb hums overhead. Mrs. Chen presses cash into my palm. 3 crisp bills, folded tight. Take, she insists. Food, medicine, you rest. My throat closes up, so I just nod and grip the money like it can keep me from falling apart. A few minutes later, gravel crunches outside. My whole body locks. Donald's voice comes through the thin wood, smooth like he's on a customer service call. Mrs. Chen. Her reply is quiet. Donald. He says you're involved. Helping my daughter. She hurt. She needs sleep. Donald laughs once, sharp, mean. She needs to pay rent. Silence stretches. Then his voice drops, gentle as a knife. You want to keep your son's little food truck running? Health department loves anonymous tips. So maybe you stay out of my family business. I clamp my hand over my mouth because a sound is trying to tear its way out of me. Mrs. Chen doesn't answer for a beat too long. I understand, she finally whispers. Footsteps retreat. A car door closes. An engine fades. In the shed, the bare bulb buzzes louder, and my ribs ache with every breath like they're counting down. On the plastic bin beside the chair sits the paper Donald shoved at me earlier in the week when I begged for my closet key. New rental agreement, $1,200 a month. My signature looks wrong, crooked, shaky, written by somebody who was trying not to cry. He didn't have to evict me with paperwork. He did it because he wanted me to sign my own cage. I take out my phone and stare at his last text, sent from a number saved as Dad. You've got 3 days. Pay rent or get out. My thumb hovers over call. I press it. He answers on the second ring like he's been waiting. Yeah? I keep my voice small because small is what he expects. My key doesn't work. Tiffany. Oh, so now you're calling, Donald says, already annoyed. After you disappear and let bills pile up? I was in the hospital, I say again, slower this time, like the words are proof. He snorts. You always have an excuse. I just need my laptop, I say. I'm going to lose my job. Not my problem, he says, and I can hear the smile. Adults pay rent, Kwana. My jaw tightens. You slapped me in the hospital. A beat of silence, then his voice turned syrupy. False concern. You're confused. You're medicated. You don't remember right. My grip crushes the phone. I remember your hand. Do you want to be homeless? He asks, like he's offering me choices, because you're acting unstable.
Everyone? I repeat, tasting the word. Donald sighs like I'm exhausting him. Pay me $800 by Friday or the door stays locked. And if you keep lying about me, I'll make sure nobody helps you again. The line goes dead. In the sudden quiet, my ears ring and the shed feels 10 degrees colder. I open my recording app and stare at the saved file. Donald_call_1. Good. Let him talk. That night, in a folding chair under a buzzing bulb, I decide something that feels clean and sharp. If Donald wants an enemy, I'll be one. The next morning, I start with what he controls best, money. I sit with my phone plugged into a power strip Mrs. Chen runs through a cracked window, and I call credit card companies with my voice steady and my stomach turning. First one, a card I've never seen. The rep asks security questions. I answer them all because they're my life, my social, my old address, my mother's maiden name. Ma'am, she says, and her tone shifts. There's an outstanding balance of $5,000. My tongue goes dry. That's not mine. It was opened 4 months ago, she says. 2 payments were made, then it stopped. Second call. Different bank, different card.
$3,000 outstanding. Third call, $7,000. 5, 3, 7, $15,000. Not a mistake, not a typo, a plan. The reps email confirmations while I'm still on the phone, and I scroll through the applications until my eyes catch the contact number. Barbara's number. My stepmother. Soft voice, nervous smile, always offering to help with paperwork like she's doing me a favor. I open my bank app and watch my credit score drop in real time, like a body falling. I screenshot everything. I record every call. I save every PDF twice because 1 copy is an accident and 2 is evidence. $15,000 isn't just debt, it's a leash, and Barbara is holding it for Donald. Work emails keep coming, sharper now. Deadlines, warnings, my manager asking if I'm still committed. I can't tell him the truth. My father padlocked my closet and changed my locks while I was stitched up. So I stop begging. I wait. Mrs. Chen texts from her kitchen window like she's running a stakeout. Car gone. I limp across the yard, keeping to the fence line. Every step cracks pain through my ribs, but I move anyway because desperation is loud and I can't afford loud. The house sits silent, blinds half closed like it's pretending nothing's wrong. I don't touch the front door. I go around the side to my old bedroom window. The one that never latched right, the one Donald always said he'd get to and never did. I have a butter knife wrapped in a paper towel in my pocket. It feels ridiculous. It also feels like the only key I've got. I wedge it under the frame and twist. Metal scrapes, loud, ugly. For a second, I freeze, listening. A dog barks somewhere down the block. A lawn sprinkler ticks. Nothing else. I twist again, and the window pops up a fraction of an inch. Then more. I slide the screen out and set it in the grass like I'm laying down a body. Climbing in hurts. My stitches tug. My ribs scream. The room spins for a heartbeat, but anger holds me upright. Inside, my room smells like Tiffany's perfume. Sweet, heavy, like she spilled it on purpose. My framed photo with Mom and Jake is turned face down on the dresser. I don't touch it yet. I can't. Not until I get what I need. I go to the closet. A thick silver padlock hangs there, brand new. A sticky note is taped to the door and Barbara's tidy handwriting. See Donald for key. Rent first.
My vision narrows until all I see is that note. I swallow the rage down like it's a pill. I drop to the dresser, yank open the bottom drawer, and it's stuffed with Tiffany's lingerie and cheap jewelry, tangled and careless. Shoved behind it, like trash, is my old laptop with the cracked screen. I lift it out with both hands, like I'm carrying something alive. Then I move down the hall. Donald's office door is locked, but it's the kind of lock that's more for show than security. I slide a bobby pin in, the same way Barbara used to make me do when she lost the key. A soft click. The office smells like cologne and printer ink. A shrine to himself. Trophies, framed photos of him shaking hands with people I don't know. A clean notepad on the desk like he's always one signature away from greatness. My eyes sweep the walls. There it is. A lighthouse painting. Same ugly colors. Same fake calm ocean. The air in the room feels thicker, like it's holding its breath. This safe was behind the same terrible painting of a lighthouse he'd had for 20 years. The combination was still my mother's birthday, because even in his cruelty, my father was predictable. The keypad beeps quiet as I punch it in.
Green light. I open it. Folders, envelopes, a small orange bottle of supplements, bank printouts, a life insurance policy with my mother's name like a bruise. My throat tightens so hard I can barely breathe. Beneficiary change form. My mother's signature looks wrong. Too stiff, too straight, like somebody traced it. A letter on a doctor's letterhead about dangerous interactions. Words like contraindicated and risk of complications jump off the page. I don't let myself think the full thought yet, because thinking will slow me down. Then I see it. An envelope with a USB drive taped inside. Black marker label. Backup 2019. I slide it into my pocket so fast my fingers cramp. I snap photos. Policy numbers, signatures, dates, the supplement bottle, transfer pages. I zoom in until the pixels blur and the names stay sharp. A floorboard creaks somewhere behind me. My heart slams once, hard, like a fist. I pause, perfectly still, listening to the house. Nothing. I start to close the safe, and then the front door opens. Tiffany's laugh drifts down the hallway. Randy's voice follows. Deeper. Careless. Ice floods my blood. I shove the papers back inside, but my hands are shaking so badly one folder slips and hits the safe wall with a soft slap. Footsteps. Closer.
The office doorknob rattles once, like someone testing it. I duck under the desk, ribs screaming, and clamp a hand over my mouth to trap my breathing. The handle jiggles again. Tiffany's voice right outside the door. "Babe, why is this door locked?" "Probably is important crap." "Whatever. I'm starving." Their footsteps move away, fading toward the kitchen. I stay under the desk for 3 full breaths anyway, because Donald taught me what happens when you move too soon. Then I crawl out, slam the safe shut, and hang the lighthouse painting back exactly where it was, down to the crooked corner. I grab my cracked laptop, slip back to my bedroom, and climb out the window the way I came. The screen scrapes my arm, fresh pain blooms. I drop into the grass behind the hydrangeas and lie flat, staring at the dirt like it's the only steady thing in the world. Inside, Tiffany's voice floats through the open window. "She's so dramatic. Like, girl, pay your rent." Randy laughs. "Donald knows how to cut dead weight." The USB drive in my pocket digs into my hip like a blade. They have no idea what I just stole from them. Back in Mrs. Chen's shed, the cracked laptop screen flickers half black when it boots, but it boots.
I plug in the USB. A folder opens automatically, like Donald never imagined anyone would touch it. The shed bulb hums. Outside, wind chimes tap softly, light and innocent, like my life isn't splitting in two. Tax returns, spreadsheets, PDFs, videos, 15 years of files stacked in digital rows like bodies. I click one, disability claim support. A video loads. Donald in gym shorts, deadlifting a barbell, face red, grunting. Timestamp, last year. The same year he told Social Security he couldn't stand for 10 minutes. Another folder, emails, thread with Melissa about moving cash off books. Another file, asset list, hide, boat, truck, storage unit, second bank account, FL condo, Ashley, like a secret tucked into a spreadsheet, then a PDF with my grandmother's name, Linda Graves, and Donald's signature on a power of attorney, a note in the margin, access trust funds with POA. My stomach twists so hard I have to swallow. He didn't just steal from me. He was hunting every weak spot in the family. I copy everything, drag files onto the laptop, upload to cloud storage, email links to myself, duplicate folders with names that don't leave room for excuses, tax, disability, trust, ID theft, insurance. My hands move faster than my fear.
Then I called the only person who ever looked at Donald like she saw the rot. Aunt Catherine answers on the second ring, voice thin with chemo and exhaustion. Quanah? What's wrong? I found Mom's insurance, I say, and the words crack. There's a policy for $1.5 million, and it's not where it was supposed to go. The silence on the line is heavy enough to sit on. What did you find? She says finally, and her voice is steel now, not tired. A beneficiary change, a doctor letter, a supplement bottle in his safe, I say, forcing it out fast, and a USB full of fraud. Another pause. Then, do not confront him, Catherine says. Do you hear me? Not Donald, not Barbara. What do I do? My throat burns. You bring it to me, she says. We do it the right way. We do it so he can't talk his way out. At Catherine's kitchen table, the USB sits between us like a live wire. She drags boxes out from a closet, cardboard marked in thick black letters. Linda, Trust, Medical. These are copies, she says, sliding a folder toward me. Your mother made me keep them. She didn't trust him. Inside is my mother's handwriting, looping, familiar, the kind that used to label my lunch bags. Instructions for me and Jake, a note addressed to us, like she knew we'd need proof someday. Catherine's hand trembles as she closes the folder. I pushed back when your mom died, she says, eyes shining with anger she's held too long. Donald threatened to bury me in court. Then I got sick, and don't. I cut in. My voice is sharp because if I let it soften, I'll break. Help me finish it. She nods once, slow. Okay. Richard Hoffman's office smells like leather and expensive coffee. The chairs are too heavy, the carpet too thick, like the room itself is built to intimidate. Good. Hoffman watches me lay everything on his desk. Photos of the safe, the policy, the doctor letter, the supplement bottle, the transfers. Then I place the USB on top, like the final piece. He plugs it in and scrolls without talking. Click. Pause. Click. Pause. The only sound is the soft tap of his mouse and my heart thudding in my ribs. After a long minute, he leans back and exhales through his nose. We can bury him, Hoffman says. Flat. My lungs shake on a breath. Relief doesn't feel warm. It feels like a weapon being placed in my hand. What do you need from me? I ask. Adopt a calm, authoritative tone for Hoffman's advice. Discipline, he says. No confrontations, no dramatic speeches. You document, you stay quiet, and you let the government do what it loves doing. What's that? I ask. Crushing people who think they're untouchable, he says, and his voice doesn't change.
I stopped sleeping in the shed after that. Mrs. Chen's kindness keeps me alive, but Donald's reach is long, and I can feel it. I crash on Shannon's couch with a heating pad pressed to my ribs, my cracked laptop open, like it's the only light in the room. Shannon watches me from the kitchen doorway, eyes stuck on the stitches. "Do you need anything?" she asks, careful. "A timeline. A clean one." When she leaves for work, the apartment turns quiet in a way that feels like pressure. I line up proof like dominoes. Discharge papers, photos of the new lock, Barbara's number on the credit applications, recorded calls, the safe photos, the USB file names. Every claim gets a date. Every date gets a screenshot. Every screenshot gets a backup. My phone pings while I'm matching receipts. Credit alert. I open it, and my hands go cold. Another card opened in my name? Not last month. Not last week. Yesterday. I call the issuer, record the call, and the rep reads back the contact number on the application like it's nothing. Barbara's number again. She isn't slowing down. She's trying to outrun me. Donald always bragged about his safe driver discount device, the little tracker he plugged into his truck for insurance points. Years ago, he added me as a secondary account holder for paperwork, and he never bothered to remove me because he never imagined I'd use it. I log in, the map loads, and there's Donald's truck history. Dates, times, stops. Golf club, hardware store, construction site again. Mileage stacking up like a confession. I export it and send it straight to Hoffman because Donald can call me unstable all day, but GPS doesn't have feelings. I still need someone close to Donald. Someone who heard him brag, saw him slip, kept receipts. Donald keeps women around like props. Tiffany is the loudest one. That means she's also the most dangerous if she turns. So, I text Tiffany from a number she doesn't know. "I have proof he lied to you." Her response comes fast. "Who is this?" "Quanah." The typing bubble appears, vanishes, then appears again like she's arguing with herself. Finally, "Where?" I pick a highway diner with big windows and cameras.
"Too public for violence." Tiffany slides into the booth wearing sunglasses like she's hiding from shame. Her hair is perfect. Her mouth is tight. "You look bad," she says. "He likes me like that," I answer, and set my phone on the table. I swipe to the video. Donald deadlifting, time-stamped during his disability claim. Tiffany's mouth opens. Then she lets out a laugh that's more choke than amusement. "He told me he couldn't bend." I slide to the next file, the asset list, the hidden accounts, the condo line. Her jaw clenches on FL condo. "Who's Ashley?" she asks. "Ask him," I say. "He keeps secrets in spreadsheets." Tiffany's nails click against her iced tea glass. Tap, 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 like she's trying to keep her hands from shaking. "What do you want?" she says finally, low. "Everything you saved," I tell her. Texts, screenshots, videos, any message where he says cash, any time he coached you to lie. Tiffany leans back. "And what do I get?" For a second, the diner noise drops out, and all I hear is the hospital monitor in my memory, the beep, beep, beep that didn't care about my father's mood. "You get him gone," I say. Tiffany stares at me, weighing whether I'm real.
Then she unlocks her phone and starts scrolling, fast, practiced, like she's done this in the dark. She tilts the screen toward me. A video. Donald in a garage, counting stacks of 20s on a workbench while he says, "Cash is king, don't put it on paper." His hands move quick and greedy, like he's always done it. Another clip. Donald at a job site, lifting plywood, laughing with workers. No limp, no pain, no disability. Screenshots of text where he tells her, "Don't tell anyone I'm working. You'll ruin everything." She opens her photo album and there's Donald on a boat, his boat, posing like a businessman, captioned for some dating profile. Successful, stable, looking for loyalty. Loyalty. From the man who padlocked my closet. Tiffany's voice drops to a whisper. He told me if I ever turned on him, he'd destroy me. I hold her gaze. He already will. Either you hand it over or you're the next one he throws under the bus. Tiffany swallows. I started saving everything the first time he lied to my face. Send it, I say. She taps her screen, opens a share menu, and airdrops a folder so big my phone lags. A notification pops up. 247 items received. My pulse jumps. That's a lot, I say. Tiffany's smile is thin.
You have no idea. Then she points one manicured nail at me. I want one thing. What? I say, already bracing. I want to watch, she says, when he falls. I don't promise comfort. I just nod. Keep your phone charged. Hoffman moves fast once the evidence is clean. IRS gets the spreadsheets and transfer records. Social Security gets the deadlift video and the location logs. Police get the recorded calls and the credit applications tied to Barbara's number. The waiting is torture because Donald is still out there acting like a landlord with morals, still telling people I'm ungrateful, still sitting in my living room with his feet up. Then the pressure shifts. It starts with a text from Hoffman. Accounts frozen. I stare at the words until they blur, imagining Donald stabbing his banking app refresh button, sweat gathering at his hairline, realizing the money won't move anymore. My phone rings a minute later. They picked up Barbara, Hoffman says. My stomach flips. Picked up how? Cuffs, he says. Identity theft. Public. Barbara in cuffs. The woman who smiled at me across holiday tables while she stole my name. Donald reacts exactly how he always does when he loses control. He calls me over and over, like volume is leverage. I let everyone go to voicemail.
What did you do? We can fix this. You're going to regret it, Quanah. I swear to God. I save them all. Threats sound different when you play them back in a lawyer's office. I try to do one normal errand, Costco, because I need groceries and I need fluorescent lights and strangers who don't know my last name. In the parking lot, I spot Jake. My brother is backed against his car by two men with clipboards. One points at the driver's side door like he's pricing it out. Jake's hands are shaking so badly he can't hold his keys steady. I don't run to him. I hit record. The clipboard guy notices me and doesn't even look embarrassed. Debt collection, he says, like he's talking about the weather. Your dad used to handle it, now he can't. Jake flinches at Donald's name. When the men walk away with a date and a warning, Jake stays frozen, like his feet forgot how to move. He looks at me, eyes shiny. He said you were lying, Jake whispers. He said you got hurt and you weren't right. He said you were on drugs.
He stole Mom's insurance, Jake. Jake shakes his head hard, like denial can erase screenshots. No, he wouldn't. I show him the photos. Policy number, beneficiary form, dates. Then the credit apps with Barbara's number. Then Donald's deadlift video. Jake's face shifts in slow motion as the truth lands. His voice breaks. I sold Grandma Linda's jewelry. My ribs tighten. Where? Jake blurts out a pawn shop name like he's confessing to a priest. The pawn shop smells like metal, sweat, and old carpet.
Glass cases line the walls, rings, watches, chains. Somebody's stolen history under fluorescent lights. I slide the screenshot of the pawn listing across the counter. The clerk's eyes flick up, then down, like he's deciding if I'm trouble. "It's gone," he says, too quick. I tilt my phone so the red recording dot is visible. "Then you can explain to a detective why you sold it without proper ID," I say soft. "Or you can check the back." His jaw tightens. He disappears into a back room, and I listen to drawers opening, a safe clicking, the sound of cooperation being forced into existence. He returns with a plastic bag. Inside it, my mother's emerald ring catches the light like it's trying to breathe. Jake's breath stutters beside me. "How much?" I ask.
The clerk names a number that tastes like robbery. I pay it anyway because I'm not letting Donald turn my family into change. I photograph the receipt, the bag, the ring, the date on the register display. Then I send it to Hoffman because grief is useless without proof. Donald's house still has strangers coming and going because he'd been renting out the basement like an ATM. No permits, no inspections, cash only. I pull up the online listing, zoom in on the hazards. No smoke detector visible, a space heater shoved against curtains, an extension cord running under a rug like a fuse. I report it everywhere I can report it, attach screenshots, and hit submit. A man who lives on loopholes panics when the loopholes get light. Hoffman calls me and doesn't waste words. "Where does he feel important?" he asks. I don't have to think. "The golf club." "Perfect," Hoffman says. "That's where we serve him." Tiffany sends a video from her car, shaky but clear. Donald is on the green, in a polo, laughing with two men, swinging a club like his spine has never betrayed him. No limp, no cane, no pain. Then Hoffman steps into frame, in a suit, calm as a blade, holding an envelope. "Donald Graves?" Hoffman asks. Donald's smile drops a fraction. "Yeah?" "You've been served," Hoffman says and hands it over. "Trust lawsuit, 1.5 million plus interest and damages." Donald tears it open right there. The papers flutter in his hands like he can't keep his life from slipping. One of his golf buddies takes a step back, eyes darting away, like fraud is contagious. Donald looks around the green for someone to rescue him. Nobody moves. His status was always rented. Now the lease is up. After that, everything stacks fast. Social Security tallies the overpayments, $230,000. The number hits my chest like a slam because it's so clean and so ugly. IRS letters start showing up in certified envelopes, bright green stickers like warning labels. Randy's name gets pulled into it too because Donald never commits a crime alone. He drags people into the mud so he's not the only one sinking. Then Rothman texts me a photo, a seizure notice taped to Donald's front door. Bright, official, impossible to charm. I imagine him on the other side of that door staring at it, jaw working, trying to bully a piece of paper the way he bullied me. Repo guys take his truck like it's nothing. Hook, lift, gone. Then the boat, then the storage unit.
Assets get tagged, numbered, lined up for strangers like a man's life can be inventory. A local reporter gets hold of the filings and runs the story. Donald tries to do what he always does when he's cornered, talk. He calls into a radio show, voice trembling on purpose, and says, "My daughter is unstable. She's making things up." The host asks about the videos, the GPS logs, the seizure notice. Donald says one word, like it's a magic spell. Fabricated. But the internet doesn't care about his tone. It cares about receipts. The auction takes place in a warehouse that smells like dust and cold metal. Folding tables sit under buzzing fluorescent lights.
People hold bidder cards like it's entertainment. I walk in, and for a second, the room goes quiet in my head, because there, on a table with a paper tag tied to the handle, is my mother's china set, lot 14, starting bid $1. My throat tightens so hard it hurts. I list my bidder card anyway. Sold, the auctioneer says, bored. Next, my parents' wedding album. Starting bid $1. I buy it back. Next, Mom's rocking chair, wood worn smooth where her hand used to rest. Starting bid $1. I buy it back too. Donald can't storm in and slap this scene quiet.
He can't lock it behind a padlock. He can't threaten the auctioneer with a health department tip. His whole life is getting priced like leftovers, and all he can do is watch. In court, the room feels too cold, like the air conditioning was set for punishment. Donald stands in a suit that used to mean power, but now it hangs different, like the fabric knows. The prosecutor reads charges that land like blunt objects: wire fraud, mail fraud, tax evasion, conspiracy, elder abuse, identity theft tied to Barbara, the disability fraud tied to the videos. Numbers follow: overpayments, hidden accounts, stolen money, interest. Donald keeps trying to arrange his face into innocence, but his eyes dart like trapped animals. A 1-second hush settles over the courtroom, the kind that makes every cough sound loud. The judge leans forward. "Donald Graves," he says, "15 years in federal prison." Money, frozen accounts, repos, his things sold off for $1 bids. Status, relationships, dignity. The golf buddies wouldn't meet his eyes. Tiffany turned over her videos. Jake sat with me, far from him, and Donald was led out in cuffs with his mouth hanging open.